Hi guys, welcome to Jay Today. Please subscribe if you're not already. So John Yates is now back on Instagram after everyone's saying he's not coming back. All the hags said no, he's not coming back. Apparently it's just on YouTube, even though his YouTube channel's still there and he's still taking subscriptions for it. Whoever's doing that and paying for that, you're absolutely mental. So anyway, what brought him back out of hiding was a missing child that his apparently one of his best friends has taken. Paul, don't really want to talk about that because I can't stand the guy. I can see why him and John are friends because they're both absolute knobheads. Anyway, he's come back and done a live this morning telling everyone about YouTube and how everything is everyone else's fault. Nothing is his fault, as we all know it never is. And how he can't believe how YouTube have let this happen to him. So, okay, I'm pretty sure you did this to yourself, John. And for everyone to buy a membership on Instagram now, even though it's only €5. He thinks that €5 is all that he's worth now. I have to disagree, John. You're not worth shit. I would rather burn €5 a month or $5 a month than send it to you. So anyway, he's claimed that he's in discussions with YouTube. So basically, he's counterclaimed the strikes that he's got. He didn't go live on YouTube while he's still got these two strikes, because if he gets one more, they'll take his YouTube channel. So he's pretending that he's in discussions with them, trying to work out a deal. They're not talking to him whatsoever. He got a computer-generated response for the counterclaim, and for some reason, he thinks like they're in these big, high-powered discussions and shit. He's absolutely delusional as usual. Big Julie can guarantee once one of these strikes is maybe both of them he'll wait for, but I think he'll just wait for one. Then he'll be back on YouTube saying he wasn't making money on Instagram, coming up with a load of other crap and how everyone should switch back from Instagram over to YouTube. But for the moment, all the hags are believing him that he's left YouTube for good. But why would you leave your channel there? He says it's because he didn't want to delete all these old interviews that he's had, but you could screen record them or download them onto your computer and still keep them and delete your channel. So he's obviously going back there. He's just talking absolute crap. He'd probably come back and say that him and YouTube have reached a deal, which we know will be absolute bollocks. Anyway, so he said that the one that he got a strike for, which he said he didn't find out until after he got out of the hospital, which is absolute, again, talking bollocks. He said the one that he got a strike for that people targeted because he made $650 in super chats, and that it was struck because he did an impression of Erica Girardi. Again, if anybody watched that, we all know why it was struck, because he was threatening to put children on P sites, on adult sites. It was absolutely nothing to do with the impression of Erica Girardi, and the fact that he actually believes that and he's telling people that and people are believing him is absolutely ridiculous. He's absolutely more deluded now he's out of hospital on medication than he was before. I'm actually surprised that the 7-hour one wasn't struck as well, because he said some vile stuff on that too. So anyway, after his 3-day bender thing where he had his little meltdown and Cody pretended that he was in the hospital, which we found out wasn't true when the Seaside Heights police said that no, he's at home and he's absolutely fine after people rang for a welfare check on him. So then he obviously panicked and thought, oh God, what do I do now? Everybody knows that I'm lying and I'm actually at home. So he had to check himself into a place. So like that day, he took himself off and told them that he was having thoughts. There was no attempt, because he was found to be lying about that too when he showed he showed his form. He's actually that stupid. Also, when he got out of the hospital and Anna Maria made him go live to give a statement on their channel, and he showed his bandages. Like, I've cut my wrists a lot of times. That's why my arms are covered in tattoos, because they cover all my scars up from when I used to be high and I used to go mental after a bender like he did. They always used to wrap around the thumb and around the hand too. So that bandage that he had on, that Cody put on for him, it just looked ridiculous. I mean, you couldn't even get that part right. And like when he was on IG Live, you could kept seeing his wrists and there was nothing on them. Like, at least remember your lies. At least remember not to show your wrists. And he had a watch on as well. There's no way you could wear a watch after slitting your wrist, because trust me, it'd be knocking them scabs off and it'd be really hurting and it'd be really rubbing on the stitches. Maybe you should have a list of things to do before he goes live on IG now, so he remembers all his lies and stuff. He should have a little list of stuff that he shouldn't do, like show your wrists and. So anyway, when he was in hospital, he now claims he's bipolar. Maybe he is. They gave him a full checkup, apparently. He's on medication. If you ask me, he's on lithium. Again, I've been on that, and I sounded exactly like him after going on benders and on a come down. Keeps talking about how what do they call it, altering his medication, trying to get the right dosage. But how many times, he's only been out like a week. How many times would the like altered the dosage already. They have to give it time to start working. They're not going to be altering it already. So again, he's talking bollocks. He's just on lithium. He's probably going to start abusing that next as well. Then, if we all remember the live that he did from the second day, well, allegedly second day, he was in hospital, where it was actually his first day, where Big Julie got him to go live on Instagram. He's now claiming that was actually a setup for everybody because he wanted people to ring the hospital to prove to the doctors and nurses that he actually was a famous blogger. You see, is that what really goes through your mind when you're sat in a mental ward thinking, yeah, I have to prove to everybody in here how famous I am? But apparently, when you're John Yates, that is all you think about. So he's obviously still. Why is he even in there if that's all he's thinking about? He's supposed to have S thoughts and have had an S attempt, which is not true. But why is he even thinking about proving to the staff how famous he is? So apparently the hospital got over 100 calls. We can probably divide that by 100. So we'll make it one. Um, he's also claiming there's been over 100 calls to the police. He's had over 100 welfare checks this year. Again, that's not true. You can ring up the police station, find out for yourself if you really want to. There's definitely not 100. And anyway, now he's back at home. He's in the bedroom. He has no Wi-Fi. And he's started comparing himself to God now.
Cody made a very good point. It's probably the wisest thing he's ever said in his whole entire life. He said earlier, look at all the hate that God gets from people. Imagine what, God has to deal with. And I'm like, dang. I'm like, look at you being like philosophic. Like, Cody. He comes out with a couple of winners here and there. He's not just all looks.
Okay, firstly, so Cody's not just all looks. Okay, I don't know what he's looking at, but all I see is some fat, balding old dude that looks really sweaty. So, yeah, definitely he's not all looks. And secondly, are you really seriously comparing yourself to God? Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? Maybe God's on YouTube now. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Maybe he's on Instagram. Maybe him and John could do an interview together, get his ratings back up again. Probably not, though, because John would think he was more special than him. You know what he's like? Some of the comments on his lives. Jesus, some of you need to get a life and stop believing this man. Like, they shouldn't have YouTube. Have you sent this to YouTube? I guarantee he has sent absolutely everything to YouTube and they're just ignoring him because they know they get sent loads of stuff. And I can guarantee all the stuff he's sending, they're just like, yeah, bin it, bin it, bin it. They should so refund that stealing. That's about, the super chats. Okay, but if that's stealing, him taking the subscription money for memberships when he's got no content up there, that's stealing too. They should take his YouTube channel away for that. But all you silly hags will keep on paying. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Talk to you all later. Bye.